I guess we can talk about the Ulduar shit. Why not, right? So, I'm going to pull that shit up. I was really excited to talk about that. Man, there's so much shit to talk about with the Ulduar stuff. Let me pull up the thing on Discord. Give me just a second. There's a lot to talk about with the Ulduar stuff. A lot of interesting new shit. And it's such a good change. Okay, so let's open this up. Oh, it's because I have this. There we go. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, so let's go through it together. So I don't know when this was posted, but this actually surprised me. So they're doing... Let me keep spamming. Wanted to chime back in here now. So before I read this, originally there was an interview where Brian Birmingham was saying that Ulduar was in a good spot, but they wanted to buff Nax because of how easy it was. And they wanted to release basically nerfed Ulduar. The problem with nerfed Ulduar is that it's pretty fucking easy. Like, a lot of the hard modes get changed in ways that make the fight, like Hodier, for example, goes from a 2-minute fight to a 3-minute fight. Freya hard mode turns into a fight that you don't need cooldowns for the trimmers. Firefighter, I'm pretty sure, got changed a lot. I know that Yogg-Saron did. There are a ton of changes in there that made nerfed Ulduar a pretty boring fucking instance. And realistically, I'll pull this up, but I'll pull it up on my second monitor. Basically, my argument is that our DPS in fucking modern day, like with 335 talents and how much people have been playing private servers, we are significantly higher DPS than they were for like the world first firefighter kill or the world first Yogg-Saron kill. So because of that, I was arguing. So if you look here, let me make this full screen real quick. If you look at, this is the top DPS on the world first firefighter kill. 5,700 DPS. 5,500 is the next one. Tons of people at fucking 4,500 and shit. Half the fucking raid's dead. Like, the DPS requirement for fucking firefighter is significantly lower. And for example, Affliction warlocks in current Ulduar, what they do is they stack warlocks, and warlocks do like 7k DPS in fucking on firefighter. Warlocks do a shit ton of damage on Yogg-Zero. Like, the Affliction of today is not the same Affliction that they had when they actually killed world first fucking firefighter or world first Yogg-Saron. It is nowhere near the same thing. They changed a ton of stuff. And because we stack those, like the raids are just super easy if you release them in their nerfed state. But yeah, I just wanted to say that before I even read this. So basically what they go through is that they want to, instead of nerfing TOC item levels, they want to buff all the Ulduar normal modes loot by 6 item levels, and then the hard modes are by 12 item levels. So that is very interesting, because if you look at the Ulduar 10 hard mode stuff, this is 226 item level. So even the Ulduar 10 stuff is going to go up to 238 item level. And if you look at 238 item level and compare that, so this is from Ulduar 10 hard mode, and you compare that to Memoron. So this is now comparable to firefighter loot, because firefighter loot is 239. So they're buffing this shit significantly. Even stuff like Comets is now going to be a 251 item level item. Like this Comets is going to compete with fucking ICC 10 gear. Like, that is just so wild. If you look at ICC 10 stuff, look at that. It's the same item level. So you do Firefighter, and I mean, dude, you're going to be so fucking geared for TOC. Like, you don't even need to step in TOC. You could go directly from Ulduar hard modes to fucking ICC, really. You might have a little bit of trouble. You're probably not going to do any hard modes, but like ICC 10, ICC heroics aren't that hard. But yeah, it solidifies a lot of what you need to get into what items you need to get in Ulduar. But it also opens up a lot of different new items that are now questionably BIS for even fucking longer. So for Warlock specifically, there is this necklace is decent if you are, and I'll put this fucking dual monitor, god damn it. Just go over, man. There we go. So if you look at, this is fucking pissing me off. If you look at this necklace, out of 10-man Iron Council, again, 10-man is piss easy in Ulduar. This is now comparable to fucking Ulduar 25 hard mode loot. And these stats are obviously going to greatly change and go up. I mean, you still wouldn't use this as your BIS, but like, you know, it's a decent side grade. Anyway, so what other things in Ulduar do they want to do? Let's look at more gear. So, algalon loot. All of the algalon loot is considered hard mode loot. That means that even algalon 10 all of this algalon 10 loot, so things like meteorite crystal, are now going to be 238. Dark matter is going to be 238. Nebula band, this is usually your warlock BIS. This is going to be 238. That's fucking massive. And then you're also going to have the Firefighter 25 hard mode ring. This is going to be a 251 item level. Like, usually in tier 9, you're still running this ring. Even as a 239 item level ring, you're still using this into ICC. This is still ICC or pre-ICC BIS. But yeah, let's look at more algalon 10 loot. But yeah, so you're using Nebula Band. These gloves are really fucking, they're statted really fucking well. But now imagine them as a 238. That's fucking, like, and you have to think, tier 8 for Warlocks, you're going to be going for 2-piece. So generally you go either legs and shoulders, or you go chest and shoulders. Or you could actually go a lot of different builds. But this really changes a lot of different things on how you're going to gear. And especially, I mean, not just for Warlocks, but like, especially all these fucking trinkets. Changes a lot of classes shit. But if you look at the Ulduar 10 hard mode weapons, you notice they're 232. So all the weapons from 10-man hard mode are 232. Add on 12 item levels. Now, these weapons, so like Ice Core Staff, is better statted than previous Ulduar 25 hard mode loot. So imagine this is a 244 item level item now. Just increase all the stats. Now this is generally your Ulduar 25 BIS, is the Star Shard Edge. So if this is a 244, it's definitely going to outweigh this fucking Star Shard Edge. Now, obviously Star Shard is going to go up to fucking 251 or whatever, but you know, it adds a lot of complexity to what different pieces that you could pick up potentially. Things like, where are the shoulders? These shoulders are really fucking good, and now they're going to be 238. And then all the different stuff with your tier, like your tier priority changing. And then you also, in 25 man, you have flare. Flare of the Heavens is generally a dog shit item because for Affliction Warlock on some servers it just doesn't proc. It doesn't proc and execute. It works exactly like Sundial right now, where it doesn't proc and execute, and it has really shit proc rate outside of execute. This gets even more pronounced because your bosses are even longer kill times, which means that your execute phase is even longer, so this starts losing value. But I mean, if you put this as a 251 item level, there's no way that this item doesn't hold up. At the very least, it would have to be better than Reign of the Dead. So imagine this item, this flare is 251 item level. Now compare that to Trial of the Crusader, Anubarak, Reign of the Dead. So this is a 245 item level item. Generally, you take Reign of the Dead, if the proc rate is good enough, depending on the private server. But you might also run a loot. So your two trinket choices might be fucking Flare and a loot if Reign of the Dead has a bad proc rate. Man, it changes so much with there's so many things that they're doing that are like, this is one of the only good changes that I've actually seen on Classic. But yeah, it also kind of it takes away the power of Nax gear. Nax gear is really only good because just about everything is a 226 item level. And even stuff like the BOE boots and the BOE crafted belt are comparable to like Malygos belt or whatever. But now it's like, dude, your Nax gear just isn't that important because 10-man Ulduar hard mode loot is so good, and 10-man is so fucking easy that, you know, tier 7 matters even less now. Tier 9 is also getting put on the back burner because of the item level jump. What is Elu? Elu. Illustration of the Dragon Soul. So, unintended consequence is that by buffing Ulduar loot so much and giving us pre-nerf and likely giving us excess time in Ulduar, they're likely going to do 4 or 5 months in Ulduar. By doing that, they're really they're making Nax and tier 9 just fucking catch-up gear, basically. I mean, the Ulduar gear is just so good. The Ulduar 10 loot is so easy to get, and it's so fucking good. And like I said, they're probably gonna have a long Ulduar phase. So, man, so fucking interesting. I actually can't believe that they did this shit. Do I think it's a good change? I think that if you release pre-nerf Ulduar and you keep it pre-nerf Ulduar, I think a lot of casuals are gonna get fucked. I don't think people realize how, like, even nerfed Ulduar would be very difficult for most of the player base. Especially, man, I hate to shit on them, but most people have not been doing private servers for fucking 5 years, like all the fucking degenerates. You guys don't know the fucking mechanics like the back of your fucking hand. You're going to wipe a lot. And I'm sorry, if you give pre-nerf Ulduar and you rush Nax phase, like, people haven't even had a chance to really get good at their class yet, man, your guild is going to be in for some fucking trouble for pre-nerf Ulduar. And I didn't play Sunwell, but I would imagine that pre-nerf Ulduar is going to dumpster Sunwell pre-nerf in difficulty. I think that this is another one of those moments. And even pre-nerf Sunwell killed a lot of guilds, apparently. So, I mean, I think that Ulduar pre-nerf will be cleared day one? Of course. Especially if they put that shit on the PTR, that shit is getting cleared day one. But if they don't put it on the PTR and people are like, you know, people don't get to practice at all, I mean, it could actually take a couple days for it to be fucking cleared. Just because you don't really have a full Degenerate private server guild that's been doing it as much. And I know you guys are gonna say, oh, progress this and blah blah blah. Nah, those people don't play private servers. It'd be like half their roster would be really, really in tune with pre-nerf Ulduar. Let's see. Started digging around. Realized that Ulduar had received massive nerfs. Yeah, so this is also true. They did nerf Ulduar a lot throughout. Oh, that's another thing, is that it really fucks with PvP too. Yeah. I think PvP items fucking yeah, Anfall will lead them to victory. Yeah, of course. I think PvP items are gonna get outscaled hard too. But yeah, I have a ton of other things. Like I want to go through like an anticipated Affliction warlock bis for tier 8, just assuming that Flare is a 251, assuming that the algalon weapon, so Star Shard Edge, assuming that's a 251. I would love to make like an assumed pre-raid or pre-Ulduar, or not pre-Ulduar, but like Ulduar bis list and all that shit. I think that would be really fucking cool. But yeah, that's my thoughts. It also, man, it also makes fucking Freya Wand. Freya Wand is godly now. Freya Wand is a 244. That shit already lasts until ICC. Now it's gonna last even fucking longer. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Ulduar shit. My fucking group disbanded because I was reserving too much shit. I'll probably stream again on like Saturday or some shit, but I have to go to sleep. I gotta wake up at 6. But yeah, I'll upload this as a fucking VOD or some shit, and you guys can enjoy that. Make sure you guys follow the stream on Twitch. Make sure you like the stream on YouTube, and then yeah, like I said, I'll upload this again. If you want weak auras, add-ons, keybinds, all that bullshit, you guys know where to find it. It'll be in the description of the video or in my Discord or some shit. But yeah, I'll catch y'all later.